Welcome to the last episode of Wasteman Corner Crash Course, and today we're going to make a special. We're going to be talking about one person, about the biggest wasteman that you can speak about in Wasteman Corner. It's a man that goes by the name of Pavlov. Now, Pavlov is an interesting character. He comes to Speaker's Corner out of this misplaced idea that if he discusses with people, he will somehow be able to change their minds. And if he disproves an argument, those people will change their minds and will change their ways. Absolutely ridiculous, I know. Especially considering the fact that most of the people that he speaks against are a more popular ideology, follow a more popular ideology than his. Weird, a very weird thing to do. He goes to Wasteman Corner and he annoys people, left, right, and center, trying to speak to them, trying to argue with them, because he thinks that if he puts his ideas through the test in a discussion, then he'll be able to find better knowledge, that if he is proven wrong in a discussion, then he can evolve, then he can improve. Of course, people rightfully call him arrogant, self-centered, pseudo-intellectual, and insincere, because he obviously deserves it. Absolutely doesn't deserve any other kind names, any consideration for what he does, because what he does is the work of the devil. Now, you might notice in some videos that this wasteman called Pavlov does, that he does this sign very often. This sign, this signal, is the signal of the devil. Pavlov is a Satan worshipper, far-right extremist. Be very wary of Pavlov. Do not, under any circumstances, speak to Pavlov, ever. Not a little bit. He is very prone. He's an ex-KGB agent, and he's prone to brainwashing people in such a way that you will not even be able to realize that he's brainwashing you at that very moment. In fact, his channel has a symbolic name that he gave it on purpose to show his brainwashing of the people. Pavlovian response. Think about it. What is Pavlovian response? It's Pavlov's conditioning. He's conditioning people. He's trying to condition them to think in his abhorrent ways. He's trying to make people question themselves, question the one and only truth. Your truth. No other truths exist. There's only one truth in the world, and you should never ever doubt it. In fact, if you doubt it, it means you are already corrupted. You have been already corrupted by Satan, and you're already a lost cause. And you need to be purged. You will go to hell. That's it. That's right! Now, on a serious note, Pavlov is a very disturbed character indeed, because he has this feeling of pleasure from arguing with other people. He always seeks victory in an argument. And when he's disproven on camera, when he's schooled by the brothers and by other people much more knowledgeable than him, he resorts to philosophy. What is that? Philosophy killed the donkey, after all. Philosophy will lead people astray, indeed. Philosophy will only make people stupider. Only when people trust in the absolute knowledge, in the one and only absolute knowledge, only then will they be able to move forward. Look at Pavlov's videos and look at his jests. Every single one of his small jests is a satanic ritual. Every single one of the small things he does messes with your mind. Be very careful with every single small thing that you see, because it's all the work of the Illuminati and of the inhuman Satan worshippers that Pavlov is obviously part of. Pavlov sometimes comes to Speaker's Corner with arranged conflicts. Remember that time that a man spat at IC3? Pavlov just stood there with his arms crossed without doing anything. He was into it. He was obviously in the whole theatrical procedure, and it was meant to discredit the great name of Islam. Or when Pavlov spoke to other preachers of other religions. Pavlov will never be sincere. Pavlov will always try to make people doubt God. Either it's Jesus Christ, Yahweh, or Allah. Or, of course, Pavlov will try to convince people of pathetic and idiotic ideas like evolution. Who would believe in evolution? Indeed, how could it be that humans come from monkeys? How come there's monkeys around? Huh? Checkmate. Checkmate, evolutionists. Checkmate. Be very careful with this man, because the only thing he wants is to make people doubt themselves, to make people ask unnecessary questions. And everybody knows that questions should not exist at all. Only answers should exist. Answers are the only thing that we need. And who gives those answers? Don't ask that. If you ask that, if you ask who's giving the answers for you, you're already asking questions. Indeed. Only trust those who speak to you in their wisdom. And who do you have to trust, you might ask? Definitely not Pavlov. Because Pavlov asks you to ask questions. To ask questions left, right, and center. Indeed. He's only there for the cameras, really. He's only there to be filmed on camera and to go home and sodomize on his own image, sodomize himself on his own image while watching himself on camera. Can you believe a person so degenerate to go home and watch his own videos and to feel pleasure with it? That's what Pavlov does. And then he does rituals to Satan in his glory. That's it. I have seen it. I know. I did my research. I see through Pavlov very well. And if you don't see it, you should get checked. Indeed. There are some very deranged characters in Speaker's Corner. Some characters that want to make people as deranged as themselves. And Pavlov is the worst of them all. Let us hope that he will never ever come there again.